Every living organism has one amazing ability, the ability to produce more of its own kind. This process is called reproduction. Now, what is reproduction? Reproduction is the biological process through which animals create new individuals like themselves. Without reproduction, life on earth would stop existing. So, in this chapter, we will explore how animals reproduce, how new life begins, and the remarkable stages of development. Animals reproduce mainly in two ways, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction requires two parents, a male and a female, and a fusion of special cells called gametes. Gametes are tiny reproductive cells that start all new life. The male gamete produces sperms and female gamete produces egg. Each gamete carries only half of the genetic information. When these two meet and fuse, a new life begins as a zygote, and from this single cell, an entire animal develops. Male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes which produces millions of sperms, scrotum that protects testes and keep them cool, sperm duct which carries sperms, and penis releases sperms. While a female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries whose main function is to produce ovum or egg. Then oviduct, which is also known as fallopian tube, where fertilization usually occurs. Then uterus, where the baby develops, and vagina, which receives the sperms. When a sperm meets and fuses with an egg, it forms a zygote. This process is called fertilization, and it occurs usually in the fallopian tube. Fertilization are of two types, internal and external fertilization. In internal fertilization, the fusion occurs inside the body of the female, like humans, cats, and cows. While in external fertilization, the eggs and sperms are released outside the body, usually in water, as in the case of frogs and fish. After the fertilization process, the zygote begins its beautiful journey of growth. The single cell starts dividing again and again. These repeated divisions slowly form a small ball of cells. This developing structure is called an embryo. At this stage, the embryo travels down the fallopian tube towards the uterus. By the time it reaches the uterus, it has turned into a tiny mass of many cells. This embryo now implants itself in the thick, soft lining of the uterus. This is called implantation. After the implantation, the embryo gets food and oxygen from the mother through a special structure called placenta. The placenta is like a connection between the mother and the developing baby. As the embryo keeps growing, different body parts start forming. Now, the fetus continues to grow inside the mother's uterus for around 9 months. It gets nutrients, oxygen, and protection till it completes its development, and when the baby is fully developed, it is ready to be born. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved and there is no fusion of gametes. The offspring produced are exact copies of the parent. Like in binary fission, a single-celled organism like amoeba divides into two equal halves. At first, the nucleus divides, followed by the division of cytoplasm. This produces two identical organisms, and each new amoeba looks exactly like the parent. In budding process, a small bud appears on the body of the hydra. The bud grows, develops tentacles, and finally detaches. This new hydra is genetically identical to the parent. Next is regeneration, where animals can regrow lost or damaged body parts. If a part of their body breaks off, they can grow it back naturally. In planaria, if it cuts into several pieces, each piece can grow into a complete new planaria. In short, regeneration is nature's way of repairing and replacing lost parts in certain animals. Next, during fragmentation, the body breaks into two or more parts and each part grows into a complete organism. This is basically seen in Spirogyra. Hope you understood the chapter. Do like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.